Hello everyone, it's Anaru, and I'm bringing you some more Halo Reach gameplay. This was a strategy request for Asylum, and this is actually a Onyx level match from last night. And when you're making a strategy for any map, the first thing you need to look at is what type of map it is. Is it asymmetrical or symmetrical? Asylum happens to be one of the very few maps in Reach that is actually symmetrical, meaning the same on both sides. So this strategy will carry over to both teams. It's not just going to work for only one side. The only difference is that it'll be flipped. You know, if you're playing blue spawn, everything will be flipped around the other way. But it'll work. The strategy will work for both. So, off the spawn, the way that you really want to have this done in a perfect world is to send one person to the snipe, one person to shoddy, one person bottom mid to try to grab the sword, since that is the only power weapon that is not, not on both sides. You have to fight over that one a little bit. And the fourth guy, which would be me in this situation, is to send the fourth guy on your carbine. The purpose of the guy on the carbine is basically to peek up and look at the enemy sniper spawn and try to put shots in him if you can, and throw nades over there, just anything you can do to annoy him. And what that does is it gives your sniper the advantage in the opening, because he can look down to the enemy snipe spawn, and if you're constantly knocking out the enemy sniper, out of scope and everything, he's going to have a hard time out sniping your guy. So that gives him the advantage on that. Unfortunately, you can't really see that in this gameplay because their sniper pretty much fell back to their base rather than staying on snipe spawn, which was probably the smarter thing for him. So what I did instead was I pushed into ring 2 to try to gain ring control. Once you get all the power weapons and you have control of snipe, or you get the other, the enemy snipe down, that's what you want to try to do, is obtain ring control. Because what that's going to force you to do is, or force them to do more rather, is they're going to be spawning pretty much only in their courtyard and their shoddy, and they're going to have a really hard time getting out of there. They're going to have to really work for it. When you take over ring control, ideally what you want to be doing is having your snipe stay by the snipe spawn or on your base or turret, just in that whole general area over there. If you got both shotgun and sword, you would have them in ring 2, hiding by both the jump ups, preferably out of line of sight from the sniper streets, so they can't be picked off or betrayed by accident. And your carbine guy, he's pretty much free to move around. You can, push, if you like to play aggressive, you can push out a little bit onto their snipe street and their carbine, and, just fade back into ring 2 when you start getting shot at. If you do happen to hold down that strategy, the main thing you want to do after that is set up for the power weapons about 3 minutes into the game, when you know everything's going to be getting ready to come back. Your carbine guy will be the one that should be rushing over to try to take their sniper rifle away from them, and everybody else should be, just fading back and getting their power weapons again. And at that point, you have to kind of reestablish ring 2 control, so you'd kind of go with the same as you did in the start of the game. Have the guy on carbine, have the 2 guys sneaking up into the middle, and try to slowly work your way back into the spawn trap. And that's pretty much the best way to do it. If you do happen to lose ring control, or they make a really heavy push towards your courtyard, or your shoddy court, or anything like that, the best thing to do is to have people fade back and have your sniper still on your snipe spawn or turret bridge, and particularly 2 guys in your base and 1 guy still over on carbine. And what that'll let you do is have all angles on them if they push into your courtyard. And once you take them back out, it's the same thing. You slowly push back in for ring control. That's the whole thing to this map, is ring control and making sure that they can't flank off of either jump up. The one thing that can flank you, if you don't have a very aware team, is the jetpack guys, because they can fly up. They have freedom to come in from any angle that they want. But if you're wearing a headset, you should be able to hear, generally where they're coming from and call it out, and you have your team, all shoot up at them and knock them out of the air. But the general strategy is that, stay to the outsides and then push in for ring control and pretty much spawn trap them. It's pretty much the, foolproof way to win this map. And like I said, it's not always going to go picture perfect. Sometimes you're going to have to back down, like you see me right here. I was going to try to challenge that guy, but I saw 2, so I'm dropping back towards our base. It's okay to drop back every now and then. You don't have to, be up on them all the time. And this is what I was talking about with the courtyard rush. You know, they're rushing towards our side of the map. So what we do is we fade back a little bit towards our base and wipe them out, and then we move back in. But that's pretty much the strategy. If you have any more questions about it, you can leave me a comment or send me a private message, and I'll get back to you. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is I changed the video settings a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be noticeable in this gameplay, but if you take a look at my older gameplays and this one, I think I actually I raised the saturation and the gamma a little bit to make it brighter, so you could see a little bit better what's going on. And the other thing is, what do you guys want to see generally? Like, I know I've been putting up a lot of Slayer gameplay, but that's just because I've been trying to get my Onyx and everything, and now that I got it, I'm still going to maintain it, but I'm going to try to delve into other playlists more. Like, what is it, you know, what playlists are you wanting to see, what game types, that kind of thing. You know, if there's more strategy requests, I'll do more strategy requests. They're all kind of similar. You know, you're trying to work towards a spawn trap, but the way that you do that's going to change a little bit. And this was a really weird spawn for me right here. This one, I have no idea why I spawned in their courtyard, but I didn't feel comfortable there, so what I did was I faded back to their objective because it has the most cover, and I worked up, and you know, eventually I got their snipe right here anyway, and it helped out. But that's just what I want to know. What is it you guys want to see? You know, anything specific, any specific game type? Just, you know, leave me a comment, let me know. Don't forget to rate the video if you liked it, dislike if you dislike it, you know, same thing. If you dislike it, try to leave me a comment on why and I'll work on it. But that's pretty much it, guys.